Hey, it's Big G, and today I want to talk to you about ETFs, and I'm all about diversifying your portfolio. So I always talk about NFTs and crypto and those types of things. We've seen a huge dip in May 2022, which shows a lot of volatility. And as they say, you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. And this brings upon the 80-20 rule, so you really want to diversify your portfolio. So one of my favorite picks for this year is the traditional, tried and true VOO, aka VOO, which is a Vanguard ETF. And what that is, an ETF is a bundle of stocks. It's basically a fund that tracks a bundle of stocks of the top blue chip, usually 100 to 50 companies. And this is very important because in a recession and volatility, these companies tend to have profits on their balance sheet. They're considered defensive, and they have goods and services people are always going to buy. I like VOO a lot because the ETF has its top holdings, including Microsoft, computers, chips, software, Tesla, electrical vehicles, that infrastructure, those types of things, and Apple, which always having the iPhone. I'm really hyped about the Apple 14 coming out, so very top blue chip companies. And another thing to speak about is the S&P 500 performance. So these ETFs usually track and have a composite of the top stocks and performing assets on the S&P 500, which, if you don't know, is the top 500 companies, which are considered the big holding, the big kind of dogs in the market. And this is important because you want to protect your bottom line. We have a lot of inflation, we have supply chain shortages. You really want to protect your capital. And of course, you want to be aggressive, but it all depends on you. So always do your research and see what you're comfortable with. But if you want something in your Roth IRA or your retirement fund, I would say VOO is one of your top choices because Vanguard is one of the most regarded companies out there in terms of ratings, in terms of management fees. There is a small management fee with ETFs, which is a pro and con, but it's actively managed by Vanguard, for example, which is a company that's very good. Secondly, I'll talk about performance. So usually the S&P averages between 10 and 15% over decades. And always you want to think long-term. I know right now we're in a stage where it's a lot of YOLO and frenzy around investments, but you don't want your emotions to get involved, especially if you're trying to retire and use a compounding effect to save your money over time. So I would highly suggest Vanguard, VOO, in terms of the company, because it's really underappreciated. It's around $380. It has dipped a little bit from around $480, $470, but I think it's a really good buy because of its performance long-term, in terms of what it invests in blue chip companies, and that kind of security of not having all your eggs in one basket, for example, like crypto or one stock. It really diversifies it. So always do your research ahead of time. I love VOO. Always do, check it out, do your own research. And again, please subscribe to the channel. We're growing really quickly. I appreciate your likes, comments, feedback, anything. So check out VOO, do your research, and enjoy investing. Ciao.